Hola clase, hoy vamos a hacer el present subjunctive, doubt, denial, and uncertainty. We have been doing the subjunctive for a couple of weeks now, so hopefully you have a better idea of how it's used. Espero que ustedes sepan más del subjuntivo. I hope you know more about the subjunctive. The form is not going to change, just as more rules about when to use it. Más reglas. Okay, so the subjunctive in Spanish is used after expressions in which speakers deny something, indicate they are uncertain about something, or don't believe that something is true. Remember that in sentences that use the subjunctive, the sentence will have two clauses connected by que, and which will usually have different subjects. Although this is not always the case with verbs and expressions of doubt, denial, and uncertainty. This category of verbs and expressions is also unique in that there will generally be a verb or expression with opposite meaning that does not take the subjunctive. So I'm going to show you some charts before your head starts spinning too much about how this is possible. So the category of verbs and expressions is also unique in that there will generally be a verb expression opposite meaning that does not take the subjunctive. The following charts show common verbs and expressions of doubt, denial, and uncertainty. So here you would use the subjunctive, if you guys see in the green, with such statements as no creer que, no creo que, I don't believe, dudar que, dudo que, I doubt that, negar que, nego que, it's negative that, I negate that, no es cierto que, it's not certain that, no es verdad que, it's not true that, no estar seguro, no estoy segura que, I'm not sure that. No es imposible, or es imposible, no es improbable, or es improbable. So all of these statements would trigger the subjunctive. In contrary to that, the ones on the opposite side here would trigger the indicative. So statements of saying, I believe, I don't doubt that, I affirm that, afirmo que, es cierto que, it is certain that, es verdad que, it is true that, estoy segura, it is sure that. This is what would trigger the indicative. So what is the indicative, just to be sure? The indicative is denoting a mood of verbs expressing simple statements of fact. So, creo que mis estudiantes son inteligentes. I believe that my students are intelligent. So the indicative triggers the present tense. Okay, so vamos a ver. Vamos a hacer translaciones. Es mejor que practicamos. Es mejor que practiquemos. It's better that we practice. So we're going to translate the following to English. Dudo que mucha gente tenga el tiempo para hacer ejercicio. Dudo que mucha gente tenga el tiempo para hacer ejercicio. I doubt that many people have the time to exercise every day. Yo dudo que, this will trigger the subjunctive. I doubt that. No es posible que eliminemos el estrés completamente. No es posible que eliminemos el estrés completamente. It is not possible for us to eliminate stress completely. It is not possible for us to eliminate stress completely. No creo que tú necesites ir al médico. Solo estás resfriado. No creo que tú necesites ir al médico. I don't believe that you need to go to the doctor. Solo estás resfriado. You only have a cold. Or you just have a cold. So note how I said you only have a cold or you just have a cold. These are all variations in how people speak. So if you wrote you only have a cold, it is the same as saying you just have a cold. So note that for the most part, all of us would translate something different depending on how we speak. So don't get caught up in that you should have wrote, oh, I should have said just and not only. It can be either or, and also is dependent on your way of speech. Okay, so creo que mis suegros deben tomar té con miel para aliviar su dolor de garganta. So I believe that mis suegros deben tomar té. So this one's creo que. I believe that. So this is a little bit different. It's going to trigger the indicative. I think that my in-laws should drink tea with honey to relieve their sore throats, right? So this is a statement that's expressing a mood or fact. So I think that my in-laws should drink tea. So this one did not use. So anytime you see creo que, es verdad que, es cierto que, you're going to use the indicative present tense. Okay, so let me fix this really quickly. So you guys are going to translate the following to Spanish. So I realize that this might be a little bit more challenging, but that's okay. We're at a point where you want to be challenged. I'm just making sure all of my things are in here. So go ahead and take that time right now to translate these into Spanish. And again, we might be wrong or different. Not wrong. It's not wrong. We might have different ways that we say things, but as long as you're using the subjunctive correctly and the indicative correctly, those small translations are going to happen differently, and that's fine. So do your best right now to translate these using either the subjunctive if it's triggered or the indicative mood if it's triggered to translate into English. Okay, so numero uno, it's true that mental health is as important as physical health. So right off the bat, it's true that, es verdad que. This lets us know that we're going to use the indicative, so it's going to be in the present tense. Es verdad que la salud mental. So I love doing translation because it's a reminder that your adjectives come after the noun. It's a reminder of all these small details that we need to practice and work on. So es verdad que la salud mental es tan importante como la salud física. Es tan importante como la salud física. So you actually had to do a comparison. I don't know if you remember doing those in Spanish too. Es tan inteligente como, as smart as, right? So that's where that's coming from. So es verdad que la salud mental es tan importante como la salud física. Muy bien. Numero dos, I don't believe a lot of college students prefer a routine with a lot of stress, but sometimes it is inevitable. So inevitable is a cognate. Remember, a cognate is a word that looks the same, is spelled the same, and has the same definition. So I don't believe, no creo que, no creo que. So that means I'm going to use the subjunctive. No creo que muchos estudiantes universitarios prefieran una rutina con mucho estrés, pero a veces es inevitable. So here, no creo que, prefieran, our verb, preferir, is an IR verb, so to put it in the subjunctive, you add the opposite ending. No creo que muchos estudiantes universitarios prefieran una rutina con mucho estrés, pero a veces es inevitable. Okay, numero tres. It is possible that we can get sick frequently in the middle of summer. Okay, so I'm just going to fix this one really quick and then we'll get Es imposible que nosotros podamos resfriarnos, resfriarnos frecuentemente en medio del verano. Es imposible que, it's impossible that. So that's going to trigger the subjunctive. Número cuatro, I doubt that you are going to alleviate your headache if you don't drink enough water. So dudo que, yo dudo que, that is showing doubt, denial, and uncertainty, so you are going to use the subjunctive. Dudo que tú vayas a aliviar tu dolor de cabeza si no tomas suficiente agua. So I doubt that you're going to alleviate your headache if you don't drink enough water. Número cinco, we do not doubt that you all know a lot about physical health. No dudamos que ustedes saben mucho sobre la salud física. No dudamos que, we don't doubt that you all know. So that is expressing belief, affirmation, or certainty. So anytime you're expressing those three things, you would use the indicative. So no dudamos, we do not doubt that you are smart. We do not doubt that you know the answers, okay? So that's a belief, that's an affirmation, that's certainty. All right, the last one, no way. So this is going all the way back to our frases útiles. For that translation, it is not true that you can get rid of a fever using natural methods. So no es verdad que. No es verdad que. So I'm insinuating doubt, denial, or uncertainty. Que va. No es verdad que tú puedas quitar la fiebre usando métodos naturales. So you might have had to do some looking up of the words, pero no pasa nada, es buena práctica. But overall, how were your translations? I guess the first question is, were you able to decipher of when to use the subjunctive and when to use the indicative? So in this lesson, it's most important to ask yourself, am I expressing doubt, denial, or uncertainty? And if I am, I'm going to use the subjunctive. If I am expressing belief, certainty, or affirmation, then I'm going to use the indicative. Si tenga preguntas or problemas, por favor, déjame saber. Let me know, and I will be happy to help you. We're getting close to the end, so now is the time to reach out. Que tenga buen día y nos vemos pronto. Chao.